it's hard to answer. Man.
Well, certainly in the case of Taeja, the answer is just by being maybe the best in the world.
Yeah, I don't think people will get really upset if you would call Taeja the best player in the world. Even though some people always, they want to wait until someone wins a Codas. I mean, Codas is a fantastic, super strong tournament, but at the end of the day, guys, it's still a knockout tournament where not everybody plays everybody.
So if Taeja wins the NASL.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say, Ben. Now let the people get angry on me. Liquid Taeja is of course our green Korean Terran spawning on the right top side of Entombed Valley, while Slayer's Ryung is our other Korean Terran spawning on the right bottom side, being our blue Terran. For the people who do not always watch the NASL and wonder, okay, this is the regular group stages, right? Is there really something on stake? Yes, people, you have to play well in the group stages to make it into either the wildcards or the playoffs. If you perform okay but not superb, you can stay in the league. If you perform a little bit better, you qualify for the wildcards, which is basically one round before the playoffs. And of course you want to make it to the playoffs because you want to qualify for those offline finals, then you want to make it to the big box. But there is still $150 on the line for each and every single best of 3 that is played. So let's say Taeja by some miracle ban won't make it to the finals or won't make it to the playoffs, and he wins 4 games and loses 4 games. That still means that Taeja walks away with $600.
Which is not half bad, Kev. It makes for...
if you're Taeja, that's bad. Taeja is like, what's the first...
MC would say $600?
Are you kidding me? As we see both players opening up over here with Command Center first, but that goes for each and every single best of 3. So Chef just won against Targa. That gave him $150 and of course a bigger chance to qualify for the playoffs.
That's right, man. That is exactly right. Entombed Valley, our map, and Kevin, I just want to say, I have never really liked playing on Entombed Valley. I find it really difficult to play on, but I have really enjoyed casting Entombed Valley and watching games on Entombed Valley. I feel like the games are a little bit different and a lot of fun.
I'm gonna have to agree with you, Ben. I know that this is a good Protoss map, so whenever I play a best of 3 with someone and I say like, I'll lose a pick, and then they always joke with me, like, I guess you're gonna pick Entombed Valley. Well, I can guarantee you I've never picked Entombed Valley in any practice session or in any official game that I play. Now I haven't played a ton of official games, but I am not a really big fan of this map either. I don't know why. For me it's often, Ben, it was in Warcraft 3 as well. If I really enjoy playing on a map, I can practice it a lot more, and even when it might be harder for my race, if I practice it so much more than the map that's supposed to be good for my race, I'm still going to play better on the map that's maybe a little bit harder, just because I have way more experience on it. And that's with me the story with Entombed as well. It might be a good Protoss map, it's just not a map that I particularly enjoy and haven't played a whole lot.
Pretty damn similar openings from these two guys.
Yeah.
Was it Command Center first?
Yep, Command Center first on either side, and then double Rex follow up. As you see, 2 orbitals in production.
And then third barracks as well, so exactly the same openings on each side of the map. Both players hiding their command centers a little bit. Taeja going to be the first one to be mining from his natural, but only barely.
Taeja did scout this game. Of course, it probably had something to do with the fact that he went Command Center first. In the last game, he opened up a little bit more safe, as he's going to drop the refinery as well. Still no refinery for Ryung, but Ryung instead is going to say, what do you say, Rotti? Let me drop double refinery and make you look double dumb. Well, thank you, Ryung.
I wonder if that's exactly what he thought.
That's what he thought. He's like, right now, these terrible foreign gases are going to say, oh, you forgot his gas. No, dumbasses. I'm going to drop 2 refineries.
And that's exactly what has happened. Taeja just on that single gas at the moment.
You know, Ben, before the action rig gets in, I am so surprised how nice these Koreans are on Twitter. It's crazy, like, Taeja, whenever I write him like something nice, he always replies to me. I haven't even really met him in person. And he always makes like smiley face, like, oh, thank you. And Zinio does the exact same thing. Now, of course, I know Zinio a little bit from Warcraft 3, but I didn't really hang out with him. But whenever I write a tweet to Zinio, he always replies with lots of smileys and stuff. It makes me so happy. I don't know why. Like, it's normal to do that with your foreign friends, but with the Koreans, you always feel that like you're a little bit disconnected from them, and you just hope that they know who you are or that they like you, but they are so kind. It makes me so happy.
Phoenix, the Korean Zerg player, often tweets at me, and he sends me the funniest tweets.
Yeah,
it's just
Phoenix
like, Bitter, hi!
Yeah.
And I'm just like, hey! But it always, whenever I see his tweets, it reminds me of the story you tell about your mom, who's just like, Kev, you there?
We see a couple of handful of, well, more than a handful. More than 2 handfuls even. 12 Marines of Ryung making their way across the map. Actually, it's just 9 over here. Taeja's going to have the high ground advantage, so he should be fine if he makes a decent engagement. And of course, once the bunker is up, he's going to be more than fine. We see the factory going up as well in the main base of Taeja. The factory for Ryung is a little bit later, but he's going to drop it right now as well.
And I almost wonder, Kev, these guys are so good. Taeja just saw that poke. Do you think he knows, all right, my opponent now has 3 racks and is probably working on his factory and his first upgrades?
2 racks could be, because I mean, if you made 2 racks all the time, it is very likely, because it could also be possible that he dropped a reactor on one of the racks so they wasn't using it. But with a CC first, I wouldn't be surprised if Taeja put it together, yes. What's surprising me right now, Ben, is that both players, despite opening up pretty much identical, choose to go for a different upgrade of the tech lab. Well, you see Ryung going for combat shield first, which, at least what the foreign Terrans told me in general, is better than what Taeja's doing over here, who's decided to go for stim first.
I wonder if that's because Taeja's choosing to be defensive. Stim does allow you a little bit more mobility. You can deal with drops a little better. Whereas combat shields, you can just kind of bully your way up a ramp because you've got that extra bit of health.
I might actually be the other way around. That Taeja's starport is a little bit quicker. Now, if you want to drop, of course, it's much more useful to have stim pack than have combat shield. But yeah, if combat shield is in general a good defensive upgrade, because if combat shield marines fight against stim marines, combat shield marines are going to win very easily, as silly as it sounds. But stim pack, once you activate it on a marine without combat shield, you only have 35 HP left, and that's just not a whole lot. So combat shield wins in a direct fight, but if you really want to hit a certain timing, or maybe want to do something with your first marines, or try to get a medevacs out quicker, then stim pack can work in your advantage.
Taeja does seem to be producing a few more marines than Ryung right now, as he has climbed ever so slightly ahead in that marine count, 28 marines to 24.
Looking at the unit counter tap in this game, Ben, I have to say both these guys are very simple men. Very straightforward. Couple of Mews, SCVs and marines. Now we do see the first 2 medevacs on the field for Taeja as well, which immediately is going to prompt the reaction. And well, let's see what else is out there, Ben. I like my 2 bases. The third one is on the way right now for Taeja as well. A little bit quicker than Ryung.
Oh, Taeja actually has a 5th racks, and Ryung is only working off of 4 racks right now, so that's why we're seeing this extra swell of units, Kev.
Oh, Ryung already has the triple orbiter in his main base. Sorry, guys, did not see that.
And Taeja is just going to push forward right now. Stim's done. +1 attack also done. At the same time, a drop moving out for Ryung. Wow, this could get really crazy really fast.
Yeah, then I still kind of like Stim more than combat shield, man, because I think that Taeja has so much more potential DPS. Yes, there is a bunker over here. If he goes back, he's going to lose a lot of momentum. No, instead, Taeja's just going to go for it.
I think he knows, of course, Kev. He is going to come right forward. Where's the big stim? There it goes. Bunker's going to go down very, very quickly, and all of a sudden we have a race on our hands. Medevac's going to be really key here, and there are 4 medevacs out for Taeja. Wow. In the midst of all of this, his main base is just getting ravaged by the combat shield and medevac marines. Stim also finishing up for Ryung as well. Taeja completely sacking the natural expand of Ryung, but losing his main at the same time. SCV's being pulled to fight against these marines, and that is never a good situation to be in. This is a complete base race scenario. 67 supply to 65 supply. SCV's coming off the line for Ryung now.
That's actually a great hold there by Taeja. Ryung indeed pushing Taeja back a little bit as well. But these medevacs, man, there are still so many marines and so many medevacs. If we take a look at the marine count right now, it's 29 for Taeja and only 15 for Ryung.
Oh man, and it does look like there's very real separation, at least militarily, for these 2 guys. Economically, 5 SCVs separate our 2 players. 3rd command center already, or 3rd orbital already done for Ryung. Taeja's morphing his right now, transforming his 3rd orbital right now.
But actually, it says morphing in the.
I know, man. Yeah, I've got to bring that up next time I talk to Dustin.
Let's put it on the Blizzard forums.
Yeah.
Let's just say that
just make a thread.
Yeah. Say like, hey guys, I don't really care what you do with balance, but please.
This just doesn't make sense. No. Machines can't morph.
Well, Transformers?
They transform.
Yeah. We see Taeja ban once more in the middle of the map. 41 marines against 23 of Ryung. Ryung is going to have...
Does he have siege mode? He does not have siege mode. That's very dangerous. Taeja's going to come forward once again. There's the big stim. All of his units aren't fighting, though. That could be a very key difference. Marines do move forward a little bit. And, oh, man, the units of Ryung just melting away.
Ryung trying to micro there with his siege tank, pulls it back a little bit, but the few marines that remain, man, they deal so much damage.
The few, the proud, the Taeja marines hold the line. Ryung has to GG, and Taeja with a quick 2-0 victory continues his swath of dominance.
And it just makes me wonder, Ben, why did it go so much better for Taeja? Was it the 4 medevacs against the 2 medevacs?
I think it was the 5 racks against the 4 racks. He had about 12 more Marines, and as small of a value as that seems to be, 12 Marines with +1 with stim under medevacs makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I guess by the time that the fights really started, or at least the restarting, it's both players had stim and combat shield, despite choosing different routes to get there. When they actually really started stimming in and fighting in, combat shield was about to finish up for Taeja, and stim pretty much finished right when the drop landed for Ryung. But yeah, Taeja having those 4 medevacs in an offensive field, and also having the bigger. Well, he had more than just 2 medevacs of Marines, because he was actually coming over land, so he didn't really have to put those Marines into the medevacs. So he had a few more Marines. Then Ryung actually had in Taeja's base, and he also had a few more Marines at home.
We could also probably say Taeja multitasked just a little bit better, as he was ultimately able to deal with the drops, whereas Ryung seemed to struggle a little bit more, pretty much losing his whole natural.
Yeah, I think just having that small group of Marines that he was having in his mineral line, for a moment Ryung was not attacking all those Marines. And while Taeja was focusing on that part, he immediately pulled out of the main base of Ryung those small calls as well. Really solid play by Taeja, so a very successful debut for him as well. He did not play last week in the NASL. This was his first game, so Taeja starts off, Ben, as many people probably expected Taeja to start off. 1-0 in best of 3, 2-0 in maps. And that's a good start for him.
Great start for Taeja. Up next, Thorzane versus Vibe. That's my personal highlight match of the evening. That last game brought to you guys by iBuyPower PCs. They are the PCs that power the North American Star League. You can get one for yourself at iBuyPower.com. We're going to take a short break. Then Thorzane versus Vibe, game number 1, when we get back.